we're going to go live with this. We have a loser's bracket round right up of Makeye Jr. versus Yanbetari. So we've got Makeye piloting their Elysian, what's it called? Burstboar Fern. That's the name of the card. Burstboar Fern deck. So Burstboar Fern to try and get multiple copies of spells, and then use a bunch of different copy effects. So Mirror Image, Sudden Schism, things like that, to copy the Burstboar Fern over and over and over and over and just kind of chain things together. It gets pretty wild. Obviously, when you're copying Burstboar Fern, you want to be able to have things like Killer. So we've got Xenian Initiation and Predator's Instinct and lots of neat things like that. And like Linearized Kiss and End of Hostilities and other ways to just find all the different combo pieces. Then there is Semi-Professional Sentinel on Yanbetari's side, playing a pretty, I wouldn't say standard, but like, like a Praxis Sentinel list. This is something that you might have seen some idea of before. There's no Stirring Sands being a rare, so the slots for rares are spent more on actual big Sentinels, so like Double Groundbreaker, Sandstorm Titan, Nova Quake Titan, things like that instead. And what's going to be running is Mysterium Orb to try and have things be a little bit easier to power out with all of these various explorers to get there. So, like the Trailmakers and Seasoned Splunker and all of those kinds of cards. So we're going to hop on into these games as soon as our players are ready. Alright, so we're going to jump in, and we're going to be watching Makeye's side of this from the start. Remember, Makeye's playing that Soul's Fern Predator's Instinct copy deck, and we're going to see how that goes. Tough hand for Makeye to start with. Yanbetari also ready, hopefully. Ooh. Yeah, Makeye deciding to keep this one, but this one's pretty rough. Gonna need to draw at least 2 power cards to play anything relevant. And even then, it's really, you're not really gonna be wanting to copy your Dune Phantoms, so a tough one for Makeye to start with, for sure. See what happens. Yanbetari deciding on mulligans still here. There we go, okay. Making sure that Yan knew to go. Yan probably just had a very tough mulligan decision. And yeah, on this hand alone, I'm worried about Makeye's chances in this game for sure. This is a very tough hand to start with. I totally understand not wanting to go down further and go to 6. 6 is really, really bad. However, as far as cards to draw, that might have been the best card in Makeye's deck. It's a unit, so it's something that's useful for the Sudden Schism, and it gets to 3. And now there's an Elysian Insignia. Okay. Makeye's kind of doing it already. Dune Phantom here ready to go. And block this 2-1. So Makeye is able to do a good job here, at least, of kind of slowing the game down, just making it so that everything bricks for a little while. Could use Linearized Kiss. Then you're not taking, you're not being able to block anything. But I'm guessing that Makeye's just kind of hoping that no Relic comes down and Monolith Guardian stays a 1-1. Because 3 damage isn't a lot. And to be fair, if this becomes a 7-7, Dune Phantom's not doing anything but chumping anyways. So a good time, I think, I agree for that Linearized Kiss to come down for Makeye. Just a decent spot to try and do it at. Oof. Yeah, and it even has Overwhelm now, thanks to this Mysterium Orb. Really good start for Yanbetari. The Trailmaker now giving 2 maximum power thanks to the Mysterium Orb. This is going to be a tough one for Makeye to get out from under. Could play Burstboar Fern, but that's not doing a lot. Could End of Hostilities and copy Monolith Guardian. But the thing is that on Makeye's side, it's a 1-1. So kind of stuck just trying to play this Burst Spore Fern. Hopefully able to get a tribute and then use the End of Hostilities and copy the Burst Spore. But it's a tough spot right now with all of these big Sentinels starting to come down for Yanbetari. And cutting off Makeye from power is real bad news. Makeye's big turn here is going for End of Hostilities, but Yanbetari didn't attack. A little worried about the mastery. However, Makeye's deck doesn't really care about attacking through. It has so many killer things, and there's the top deck. That's a tough one for Yan. I mean, Yanbetari has some responses, like there's Torch and Kados' Choice. I guess Torch is slow now, but there's also Seer. However, Aegis kinda stops that. Yan's got 2 good blockers now. I think that Yan should just be trying to bust through here. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to see Yanbetari just keep the pressure up. Like, Yanbetari could probably kill Makeye before Mastery ever happens. It's going to be interesting now, because now Makeye can Sudden Schism the the Burr Spore Fern. Immediately kill that one. Try and get Mastery on this another way. Yeah, I apologize if there's any drop frames. I mean, Twitch is just kind of having a rough time handling all of this extra traffic. Okay, so there's the copy. And a double block from the Burst Spore, which I like a lot. So the double block here, just to make sure that one of these Burst Spores is going to get Mastery. And then a double block on the other one to prevent any damage. Yanbetari, we know, has a fast spell. Yanbetari has been paused. So it's really depending on, like, if they decide to do anything. Thing is, there's not a lot to do with all the Aegis. And I mean, not really wanting or caring to burn down like a Dune Phantom or something. That's not a big problem for Yan. So a Burst Spore Fern is going to go off. The bigger question, though, is, does it matter? Like, sure, now 2 spells every time, but Makeye can't play any spells yet. Makeye doesn't have the power, and Makeye is going to run out of time real fast. With all these big Sentinels. Oh, I might be speaking too soon. Here we go. Get an End of Hostilities. It's really, really too bad for Makeye that they can't get the tribute. It'll still end up being kind of a tributed copy anyways, because it's going to give 2. Because here comes the second End of Hostilities. No response window to do killer or anything like that and get cute, unfortunately. And there's Kados' Choice, so just going to return... that little spin backwards was interesting. Going to return the unit to save it, but as we know, I mean... Wow! The Overwhelm still just busts through, and Yanbetari is... I can't imagine they have a way out of this one. Once Burst Spore Fern starts going, it really rips through. Wow, what a game. I didn't expect that was a recoverable position from Makeye. So really well played, just smartly doing all those double blocks, like the Sudden Schism, and getting that Mastery exactly when it was needed. Good top deck at the end to get the power card, too. Some luck definitely on the side of Makeye as well, but Makeye set it up by doing a good job of mitigating the damage, by making sure that they did the right double blocks and like baiting the attack into that with the Sudden Schism up, doing a bunch of really good smart plays just to make sure that they would have those openings. And like, they got really lucky. They drew the killer at the right time. They drew the power card exactly when they needed it, but they made that possible by smart play before that and doing some good blocks and just mitigating a lot of damage. There we go. I see that we are ready to jump into the game now. Sorry about that. I just had a minor wire cross between our two players, I guess. And I'm going to hop on in for Yanbetari's side.
I'll end you myself.
And kind of a tough choice here for Yanbetari. Yeah, definitely mulligan. It's tough because, I mean, I feel like that Mysterium Orb is really important for Yanbetari's deck to do some very broken things, but at the same time, not having the power for it is very scary. This hand is an excellent hand, though, so it was a good mulligan in that sense. Like, this ended up being much better than the hand we were looking at before. Makeye Jr., meanwhile, getting their powers fixed up and probably starting off okay. I mean, no mulligans to 6 or anything from either player. Yeah, Makeye gets the first ramp piece out here. Yanbetari has a really nice hand, except for the fact that there's no units in it. I mean, 2 removal spells, kind of 3 if you count Ancient Defenses, and then a bunch of extra card draw. But at the same time, Yanbetari needs to find something to do here. At least Yanbetari does get to kill the Devotee if they want. It's possible they wait, because they do have enough to kill a Burstspore Fern if it comes down, even through the Aegis. But yeah, chopping off the ramp here is probably a good idea, and they decide to go for it. Now they've got the Monolith Guardians, so that's at least something. Ancient Defenses is maybe not a bad idea either, to start off with. It's really too bad they can't pop that 1-3, because then I think it's an easy Ancient Defenses first. Then you go ahead and Sandstorm Titan or Monolith Guardian. Yeah, instead, Yanbetari is just going to play the Titan, get some pressure on the board. Not bother to keep setting up and just do 3 to the face. It just doesn't seem like enough. And I agree with that line of play. And now, does Makeye have a Burst Board? Can't anymore. Needs 6 damage for that. And no other play. Really fast pass here from Makeye. Makeye's hand can get really clogged up with, like, Sudden Schisms. And, I mean, well, there we go. Dune Phantoms and things like that. So they could just have a hand that's full of copy effects and nothing amazing to copy yet. It's hard to say. I like this play by Yanbetari to just keep knocking down the power here from Makeye. Stop them from getting to 6, slow them down a little bit, make it obnoxious so that Burst Board doesn't come down as fast. Makeye is hitting all their power cards, though, so that's a little scary here. Yanbetari probably going to draw some cards off of Distillation. Maybe just go for the Monolith Guardian. I mean, right now, Sandstorm Titan's not able to bust through this Dune Phantom. Just an obnoxious card here for Yanbetari. It's possible that they decide to attack and actually use Kados' choice to kill it, because it's stopping so much damage. I think that might be the right play, honestly. It sounds dumb, but when it's stopping as much damage, you kind of want to start pressuring Makeye. Like, you don't want to let Makeye have forever to go ahead and set up this plan that they have of copying these Burst Spores and eventually even getting Soul's Rest and taking additional turns. But Yanbetari is going to stay a little bit careful, a little bit safe here. Another Calibrate. That's actually really nice if they can hit a Mysterium Orb. It can end up being a lot of power. And then, of course, Novaquake Titan gets real nasty. Unfortunately, no Mysterium Orb this time. Do get to slam a big old 9-7, though. And here's the big question. Does Makeye have a Burst Board? And no, they don't. So, we just got a couple of Titans here staring each other down. And here comes Novaquake. That's an additional card for Yanbetari and returning every unit on the board for Makeye. Silencing them as well. So that's real nasty. Makeye needs a lot of help here. They do have Soul's Rest in their deck, so it's possible that they can play Soul's Rest, decimate and return every unit, and so kind of do the same thing back to Yanbetari, buy themselves some time, try and come back into the game that way. Makeye kind of looking over all those units here. It might just be that they're sitting on... Nope, there's the Soul's Rest. I was wondering if they were looking at an end of hostilities and deciding if they wanted to try and copy one of those. I think that they might actually have it based on the way they moused over things. So they might be trying to decide if they wanted to get rid of this Novaquake Titan by trying to copy it and bounce things back. But it doesn't work that way. You have to bond the Novaquake. So I imagine that's what Makeye was maybe doing. And there's the Linrise Kiss. I mean, this is a nice setup for Makeye. The problem is, Yanbetari has a mitt full of absolute bombs, and Makaye's stuff got silenced. Yanbetari's didn't. So Yanbetari is able to just slam Novaquake again later in this game, and it doesn't take a long time to do it. Immediately gets to go Monolith Guardian and Sandstorm Titan and play a Grenadin, plus they get the additional pumps from the Ancient Defenses. Like, this board develops real fast once again for Yanbetari, and with that Novaquake Titan in the background, I'm not sure what Makeye can have to deal with this. Like, they could have gone for another Soul's Rest. They do have 2 of them. But if they do that, like, what's their win condition? They're just going to bounce it again and then be stuck in the same position again next turn. So, yeah, Makeye probably went for this Burstborn. Does play it down right now. And in a very tight spot. Because there's a lot of damage coming in for Yan. Oh, Yanbetari is just going for it. Going to pop this Novaquake and then Seer and Kados' choice down the burst board. Yep, there we go. And that is probably the game. I mean, Makaye's not actually dead, but I think that Yanbetari has now just closed the door on any real outs that Makeye can have. Double Sandstorm Titan is normally a big game, but right here, they're just basically on chump block duty. They can't do a whole lot against this massive board position from Yan. Yanbetari now picks up a Calibrate, too, so they could play that first and try and hit that Mysterium Orb, get that Endurance and Overwhelm on their Sentinels here, and that'll close the game out for sure right now. So dropping a frame or 2 there. Deciding to kill one of the units. That might mean lethal. Nope. Just making it so there's no chance of double blocks, I guess. And Makeye is still playing this game. I'm very surprised that Makeye is bothering, because at this point, I don't see an out looking at the list. And I imagine this is the turn where Makeye just scoops them up. Or dies on the crackback. Yeah. There we go. Makeye just playing it out to the bitter end. The bitter end being minus 35. So pretty decisive victory there from Yanbetari. Novaquake Titan just showing off its stuff. It absolutely demolished that board for Makeye and really split that game wide open. So we're going to watch from Makaye's side now. Yanbetari coming back and making an even set. So whoever wins this game eliminates their opponent from the tournament and proceeds on through the losers bracket. They get to fight Dectalon in round 3 of losers after this. Get our players challenging each other up here. That little nudge to get them going. And like I said, we'll watch from Makaye's side again, kind of switch back and forth here. There we go. let's see what hands we've got. Oh, this is an excellent hand for Makeye. I really like this one. I keep saying good luck, but this is a perfect starter. So Seek Power on turn 1, turn 2 Devotee, turn 3 Sandstorm Titan, and then right after that get Linrise Kiss. That is... wow. Yeah, turn 3 Titan, turn 4 Linrise Kiss, go for the Burst Spore Fern, and it's going to be tough for Yanbetari to come back from that. Make sure that Yanbetari also knows they are good to go. Again, they might be deciding on a tough mulligan here. If I'm Makeye right now, I am very pumped for this hand. I don't know that there can be a better starting hand than this one. Not for this deck.
Blink.
I mean, it's possible that, like, Dune Phantom could be a Burstborn Fern or a killer spell, but... oof.
This'll do the
There's
trick.
really not a lot that could improve this. Yanbetari also starting out okay, though, getting that Calibrate into a ramp spell here with this Trailmaker. So certainly not bad for Yanbetari. Yanbetari picking up a Grenadin, which is nice. Just a nice little chump blocker to be able to stop this Titan. And going for the big draw spell. Oof. Makeye opting to strategize here first, which I agree. You want to make sure that you put up the pressure here, get that 5 damage in, rather than just use the Linrise. And now can play the Phantom. So it makes sense to just play the 2 things rather than... and get the extra 5 damage rather than just use the Linrise Kiss. You're also not 100% certain which one you want to use yet, because if you strategize and you hit a Burst Spore Fern, or you hit like a Soul's Rest, it might change how you pick off of this Linrise. All those power cards were a little scary for Makeye, but of course Strategize is really good that way in that it can tuck back one of the bad cards that you get, so a little bit of help there for Makeye. Yeah, not risking the Titan. I'm not sure that Yanbetari would triple block. It's a lot of values that they lose. They do need to have Explorers for things like that Mysterium Waystone. And obviously, Season Splunker gets a lot larger later in the game. But, yeah, losing the Titan just does not feel good. So I very much understand just holding it back, being a little careful. Wow, what a great top deck here for Makeye. Getting that Predator's Instinct immediately. So now we're going to see maybe the power? Probably the Season Splunker. Yeah, there we go. Season Splunker gets picked off immediately. I would probably attack the Sandstorm Titan here. Yeah, good play. Because now the thing is sure, there's a double block available to kill the Sandstorm Titan, but it means that it's so much easier for Burst Spore Fern to attack back and get Mastery. You really don't want to do that. And we see this here. Yanbetari just decides to chump block the 1-1 instead, rather than trade off. Maybe also because of the fact that this 5-5 can quickly outpace the Titan. Alright, we see Aegis drop off of this Burst Spore. Oof. Into a Scour Stone Sentinel to make a 9-8. But we know that Makeye has this Sudden Schism. Oh, I'm surprised by that. Makeye using the Wisdom of the Elders before the copy. If that had gone the other way around, Makeye would have the Mastery on this and would have gotten an extra 2 cards. So minor misplay, I think, for Makeye there. Just missing a line of play out of their deck. Still in great shape, though. End of Hostilities now looks absolutely terrifying. Yanbetari's far from out of this, though. If Yanbetari has a Nova Quake Titan, we've seen how quickly that can change this game. Wow, and Yanbetari getting aggressive. throwing in 16 damage. And we're going to see Burst Spore Fern blocking? Double blocking the 9-8. Okay. Taking 7. So Makeye not really worried about losing a Burst Spore, just trying to get the one that they have to stick around. Interesting. I feel like we're going to see an attack here from the 5-6. And if Yanbetari's smart, they'll just chump block it or take the damage. But I think that's the right play. Like, you attack the 5-6 just in case. No matter what, you're at least getting a free 1-1 out of it or 5 damage. And if Yanbetari makes the big mistake of actually just eating this 5-6, then suddenly you get to end of hostilities and make a lot of ferns. You get some explosive plant growth. Playing that Wisdom early is definitely hurting Makeye, yeah. Missing out on those 2 extra cards could have been a major deal breaker this game. And now Makaye's got a choice. Yeah, they're going to decide to try and slow roll this, hold the Dune Phantom, and wait for an opportunity to use End of Hostilities. I mean, facing down a lot of damage, though. And I mean, we talked about how that attack from Yanbetari last game, like game 1, might have lost the game. Where Yanbetari could have been a little bit more aggressive. We might be looking at it the other way around now, where that miss on those extra 2 cards for Makeye could be the difference here. Oh man, Lightning Sprite is such a great card for End of Hostilities and Burst Spore Fern. The problem is, Makeye doesn't have the ability to really, like, spend a turn off just using this, getting it down to a point where they contribute and make the extra copies. Like, oh wow, Makeye deciding to not even use it at all. That I find exceptionally surprising. Ooh. Another Ancient Defenses. I was thinking that they would use this a couple times, like once or twice, just because of the fact that you get it closer where if you've got 8 power, you can then use this twice, End of Hostilities, and you can make copies. Makeye going down to 4, losing their entire board. Yanbetari correctly being very smart, playing around the tribute here. And now Titan goes down. There's another Dune Phantom, but it's not going to be enough. End of Hostilities can happen, but again, just not enough. It's really, really bad here for Makeye, too. It's kind of funny that, like, End of Hostilities is so awkward against Yanbetari's deck in particular, in that you can't copy these 9/7s. You just get them as 3/1s. Like, they'll keep the extra 2 off of the Ancient Defenses, I think, but that +6/+6 doesn't happen. They don't have a relic. So you end up with just 1/1s. Yeah, and that'll be the end for Makeye. Those extra 2 cards really ended up being a big difference. I mean, we don't know what they are. It's certainly possible that Makeye wouldn't have been able to get there anyways. But, wow, what a turn. Because that minor mistake of ordering it wrong and not getting the extra cards off of that Wisdom of the Elders, the extra copy, looks like it cost Makeye the game, and in fact, their entire tournament life.